up, guys? It's Patriots Man here, and I am back with another video. For our first video today, we are going to be ranking every Madden Mobile 22 promo and program. That's going to include stuff like the Champion Store, Kickoff, everything from there on, stuff that was introduced in the game like the Tour. So honestly, let's get right into it. I don't want the video to take way too long, and I have some ideas for some of these, but some of this ranking is just going to be off the top of my head. I don't have anything written down for this, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. Ranking all the promos. Let's go ahead and start with the Champion Store. The Champion Store, I'll put in average. I would say the Champion Store was not something that was absolutely terrible. There were some useful resources in there, like the trophies and stuff you could use earlier in the game. So I'll put the Champion Store in average. I think that is fair enough for the Champion Store. It definitely wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst. It could have been better, though, for sure. You got the Tour. The Tour I'm going to have to put in bad. The only reason I'm putting the Tour in bad is because it would have been a lot better, but they never updated it. Once you got to the Aaron Donalds, you did not get further at all. So it's probably going to be in bad for me. It could be in between bad and average, but it could have been so much better if they kept it updated. It just did not get updated, so I'm going to put that in bad. I feel like I'm going to be putting a lot of things inside average, though. We have the Pro Bowl promo. This promo, thinking back on it, I think that you were only able to get like one master or so, and even then you couldn't get the best masters in the promo, so I don't think it was even average. It was just like a bad promo. It wasn't terrible, but it was fairly bad. So I'm going to put it in bad as well. That would be the best place to put it. And we have best of the best, great, average, bad, and terrible. I have some ideas for a lot of these. Madden Harvest. Let's think back. So Madden Harvest was our first promo where we saw iconic players. I think this one's going to go in average as well. I don't think anything was extremely great about the Madden Harvest promo. I think you could get like one or two iconic players. I don't remember anything too special about the Madden Harvest promo, so that's going to go in average right there on my tier list. Next up is the Playoffs promo. This one, it's got to go in best of the best. We have a few good promos that will go in best of the best, and Playoffs is no exception. This was one of the best promos of the year, and I'll tell you why. Because the Playoffs promo offered so many players, so many iconic players you can actually obtain. I believe the promo was like 3 weeks long, like almost 3 weeks long, one of our longest promos of the season. But you were also able to obtain so many iconic players from it. I believe there were also pick'ems, so you could get extra stuff by just winning or losing pick'ems. There were like iconic coins available, stuff like that. So many masters available. This was definitely one of the best promos of the year, so I put it in best of the best for that reason. Next up, we have the NFL Combine promo. This one, it wasn't horrible. I mean, I think I got an iconic elite. You can get like a rank 3 iconic elite, I believe it was. So in terms of free-to-play, that was the standard for most other promos, so it should be average here. I don't think it was bad. There were some good masters like that Chris Johnson, so definitely at least an average. I don't think it was like bad or terrible. We have the London International promo. This was way earlier in the year. This one, I'm going to have to go with bad. I mean, it was a pretty bad promo. Most of the promos earlier in the year were pretty bad. I mean, they were like extremely average, and they didn't start picking up until like Most Feared and getting in that range, where we started seeing some holiday stuff, and of course the game picks up a little bit. So this is going to have to go in bad for me, at least for now. We have Most Feared. All right, Most Feared, let me think about this. Most Feared, I might be biased because it is a holiday promo, but I'm going to put it in great. Now the reason being, of course the Randy Moss was not obtainable at all, especially to free-to-play or even the casual spender. I believe he was like $1,000 or something to actually get. But why I say this promo was so good is because you could actually obtain a couple masters. You could obtain like 2 or 3 masters if you wanted to, the 100 overall players, and say you didn't want to rank them up, they still all boosted each other, so they were like pretty worth it on your team for a long time. And it also being the Most Feared promo, it was a pretty unique promo setup and stuff like that. You had the rotating offers, you had different journey maps, so many logos, you had a field, a uniform, all sorts of stuff going on with the Most Feared promo. So you know, I might be kind of biased because it is a holiday promo, and that Most Feared is usually one of my favorite promos. And I'm not going to put it in best of the best because it was not. But I think it was a little bit more than average as well. So I'm going to put it in great. And we move on to Ultimate Freeze. Ultimate Freeze, the way I think about it, it wasn't incredible, but it wasn't horrible either. I'm going to put it in average for now. I think it's kind of in between average and great for me. I personally enjoyed Most Feared a little bit more. I think this year when they got to the point of snowballs and the Michael Vick, like it got kind of lackluster at that point. So, and the presents were kind of, you know, interesting as well. They weren't crazy, but They weren't horrible. I'm just going to put it in average right there. Next up is Team of the Year. I bet you guys can probably tell where Team of the Year is going to go. Team of the Year is going to go in pretty terrible. It's going to be a terrible promo for sure. You basically had to play almost every single day, and you were basically limited to what you could do. You logged in, you got like 5 or 10 plays of an event, you would play the events, get a boomer bust pack, and that's it. If you wanted to get an iconic elite player, you would have to spend Madden cash, lots of Madden cash, especially for the Jonathan Taylor. You were limited the whole entire time, and when you played every single day, the best you could get was like one of the worst tiers of iconic players. Like there were 430s, 440s, 450s, and like the iconic elites. The best players you could get if you played every single day were like the 440 overalls, and that was one of them over the course of like what, 1.5 weeks, however long Team of the Year was. So for a promo that is usually supposed to be one of the best all year long, I don't think Team of the Year was that great. So I'm definitely gonna put it in terrible. I did not really enjoy that promo at all this year. We go to flashbacks. If I remember back to flashbacks, a lot of these are gonna start being like average and like very similar to each other because flashbacks and all those like later in the year worked a very similar way. Flashbacks, I'm gonna go with average. I really can't remember, so most of the promos that I can't really remember most about, I'll put in average because I don't know anything too great about them and nothing too like bad either. So we'll go ahead and put it there. New Year's, let me think. So New Year's, I don't know if I really enjoyed New Year's. You could get, this year you had like 3 masters, right? And what happened was the certain masters were locked over the course of certain days until you could actually get them. So I believe like there were different drops and you had to wait to get a certain master. So say you wanted to get Kevin Mawai, or Night Train Lane, right? Night Train Lane came out later in the promo or whatever. And what I think what happened was when one player came into the game, the discount for the other players went away. So basically Kevin Mawai was first. So by the time that Night Train Lane rolls around, if you wanted Kevin Mawai, you would have to spend the full price on the card. There were a lot of timers involved. So I'm kind of going to put it in bad. New Year's was lackluster for sure. Like Ultimate Freeze and New Year's were fairly lackluster this year, but I would say that it could have been much, much worse. There were some good master cards. I was able to get a couple iconics from those promos, so I'm not too mad, but in the end, they can't all be average, There are going to be some bad promos in there that I have to put in bad. Next up is the NFL Kickoff promo. This one, for sure, it's going in the bottom tier. NFL Kickoff was not good at all. That's going to be terrible. As you guys know, our first promo of the year, and it was guided by getting useless players that you had to level up and also rank up in order to progress in the promo. You had to basically use these uncommon and rares that may not even be on your team. Use your coins, training points, trophies, stuff like that. And they may not even be on your team. All for you to go for these 95 overall players that would be hard to rank up anyway. So, Kickoff, the worst promo of the year. If it had its own tier, I would put Kickoff in it, but Kickoff and Team of the Year so far are the terrible promos. We have Team of the Week. I'm going to put Team of the Week in bad. The reason being is that Team of the Week is not what it's always been, right? Team of the Week has been about releasing brand new cards every week for who stood out in the NFL. This year, no brand new cards at all for Team of the Week. All they did was take base cards in the game, and they made them boost each other for that certain week or whatever. So, Team of the Week was not unique at all this year. I'm going to put it in bad. That's really just all I can really think about that. College Throwbacks. This promo I really, really enjoyed. I know a lot of people did. It's definitely going to go in great. I don't think it's best of the best, because those are for like top tier promos. But College Throwbacks was really, really nice. And I know it had 2 editions of it. So this was a really, really cool concept because they had college teams in the game. You could play in like the College Football Playoff Stadium. There were tons of nice epic players to get. There were coin packs. One promo we actually saw coin packs in, where you could spend like 30,000 coins to get collectibles in the store. So I'm going to put College Throwbacks in great. That's definitely worth it right there. I think that's going to be a worthy spot for College Throwbacks. Super Bowl promo, best of the best, hands down. You guys probably remember it. A lot of people came back to the game during this time and started playing a little bit more. Super Bowl, so many obtainable players from the Rams and the Bengals. If you spent a little bit of Madden cash, I guess it was like 10,000, like a normal bundle, you could get the Super Bowl MVP. So it wasn't like a crazy expensive MVP either. But of course, it was going to be a little bit pay to win there. But in the end, best of the best because it was so great. I believe there was no pick'ems for this either. But in terms of the events, they were very rewarding. and you had the ability to really get any player that you wanted from the promo. You could get multiple players if you wanted to. And don't forget the Super Bowl streamer week, where they all allowed us to get a free select iconic if we watched the Twitch streams. That made the promo a lot better for sure. Next up is going to be the Vault. I also have the Vault free agency here, so we're also going to go through this as well. Both of them will go in the same tier. And honestly, the Vault, it really was not good at all. I'm not going to even say that it was bad either. I think it was just terrible, because the Vault, it was just boom or bust. And I'm not really hating on it for, being what it is. But in the end, all it really was a boom or bust thing, right? There really was not much to it. You played a few events. It was a mini program, not meant to be anything crazy. So in the end, it's still going to get that terrible feel to it. Like, it's still going to be pretty bad. So that's how I'm going to go about it. It could also go in bad if you wanted it to. But the Vault really just wasn't that great, if anything. Unless you pulled a player, then it really wasn't that good. Now we have got NFL Honors. NFL Honors, I believe, also pretty bad. I mean, this was tied into the Super Bowl promo, and most of the players were fairly pay to win and difficult to get, right? You had to go out of your way to build these guys in a short time frame. They only had one event. It wasn't terrible because I believe they were obtainable to get one guy, but in the end, that was just one shard of an iconic, and in the end, it did not last very long on your team at all. So NFL Honors will also go in bad. I think I want to change New Year's to average. I think New Year's was actually, when I think about it again, New Year's was actually not too bad. I think the promo was solid. But let's move on to Black Friday. So Black Friday is next. This one, so you had the offers, you had all the special stuff going on with the offers and stuff like that, and the offers were decent. I think Black Friday will go in as average as well. I tend to like Black Friday because there are usually good deals. It definitely wasn't great, but I'll go with average for this one as well. We got division battles, so battle for the West, battle for the East, whatever you want to call it. This is probably going to go in average as well. This was pre-Gridiron Gauntlet, so I think Gridiron Gauntlet definitely took this over in a great way. So I think that's going to go in average for sure. That's going to be a good spot for it. Game Day. Game Day was what we had during during the actual season, where you could get some select packs. I don't remember being very good at all, so I'm going to put it in bad. It wasn't terrible because you could get some players, but it really was not worth it for going into and spending your stamina. So I'm going to put it in bad. It wasn't too amazing. We'll stick it right there. Career Tribute. So there wasn't much Career Tribute in terms of this season. I'm just going to put it in bad because all I can remember is the Tom Brady. And you also had the Marvel Limited Times. And the bad part about those, they were only available for 1 week. So I'm going to put bad for that as well. Those weren't too amazing. Gridiron Gauntlet. Definitely Gridiron Gauntlet's going to have to be best of the best. This is not a promo, obviously. It's like a program for the entire year. But the reason, obviously, Gridiron Gauntlet's going to be best of the best is because you go through the entire year, right? The cards get added into the packs, and you spend your Gridiron coins. You choose any player in the game that you want. I think that it was their best substitute for the auction house they can come up with. Of course, the auction house is way better because you could sell players back, players that you don't need, and basically go through and get players that you want anytime you want, right? Gridiron Gauntlet was their way of trying to replace that, and I think it was decent in terms of the way this year worked. So it's definitely going to be best of the best. It was very useful throughout the year. Next up is going to be Easter. I think I'm going to put Easter and 4th of July at the same time because they were basically copy and paste of each other. If you guys remember the fireworks and the Easter eggs, same thing. The promo was set up the same exact way. Once again, I'm probably biased towards these holiday promos, so I'm going to put them in the great category. Overall, I had a fun time opening up the eggs and the fireworks. Those themselves were pretty average. But I think what I was able to get out of the promos, like I got Sean Taylor in 4th of July, and I got Randy Moss in Easter. So both of the masters I got were actually pretty good. And the availability of stuff in the promo, the selection was pretty decent as well. Overall, a fun promo. I didn't really find myself getting bored during the promos because you could actually collect the eggs and stuff like that. So I'm putting Easter and 4th of July right there. Next up is going to be the NFL Draft promo. This one, I want to put this one in average as well. This promo was very, very similar to like New Year's, I would say, because New Year's was where you could get like one player to a couple ranks or so. This was very, very similar. NFL Draft was weird because you had so many players, but the economy of the promo was so bad, like you couldn't get very many players at all. I think I only got like even with stamina refills, I only got like a rank 3 iconic elite, and I got that on like the last day of the promo, so it really was not that great. I'm going to put NFL Draft in average. I think that is a fair assessment for that. They were good master cards. It was decently fun going through and seeing the stats and stuff and the stuff added into the game. So I would put that in average. The stuff in bad deserves to be in bad, I would say. We have all rookie. This promo, this was probably my favorite promo, like the copy and paste era, I would say. Like at this point on, you see the promos that are left. All rookie standouts, Madden Galaxy, 2-minute warning, preseason, King of the Gridiron. All this sort of stuff was kind of copy and paste in the way the promos worked. And all rookie was fun because you had like not only like boom or bust events for players, but you also had boom or bust packs that you earned by simply collecting tokens. So you had players you could earn, you had boom or bust player events, and you also had boom or bust packs, which also had the ability to give you Madden cash and stuff like that. All rookie is probably going to go in, I would say, I'll put it in great. It's going to be the only one that's in great from these right here. Standouts, I remember, is pretty solid. I'm just going to put standouts in average. I believe that deserves to be an average as well. Madden Galaxy, it was a pretty cool promo, but most of these promos that you guys see left, these here are like copy and paste promos. So I'm going to put Madden Galaxy in average as well. I told you guys the average category would be pretty large here. We also have the 2-minute warning promo. So the 2-minute warning promo was the last promo in Madden Mobile 22, and I'm going to put it in bad. The reason being, as you guys know, Madden Mobile 22 shut down pretty early, and the promo was cut short. So most people were not able to get what they wanted out of the 2-minute warning promo, so I'm going to put it as bad. The promo masters were not horrible. Actually, they were horrible. Eli Apple, Iconic Elite, really? Giving Eli Apple an Iconic Elite was not a good idea. That made no sense at all, so forget what I said about good promo masters. You guys know what I'm talking about. So 2-minute warning is going to be in the bad category, especially because it was cut short at the end of the season. Now, to our left, we have preseason, and we have King of the Gridiron. I know King of the Gridiron was like just like 2-minute warning, but it was not cut short, and it's a little bit more fun. So I'm going to put that in average, and preseason was also fairly average, so that's going to be what we got. So there is my final tier list. You guys can go to tiermaker.com and look up Madden Mobile 22 promos, or just look up Madden Mobile 22 and find this tier list that has promos and programs, and you guys will be able to do this yourself. I'm also going to try to link this in the description and the pinned comment so you guys can make a tier list for yourself, but this is my final tier list. Best of the best, playoffs, Super Bowl, Gridiron Gauntlet, all the way down to terrible, Team of the Year, Kickoff, and the Vault. Let me know what you guys do think. I do have one more video coming out later today, a 4,000 plus iconic coin shopping spree. That's going to be an insane video as well, so make sure to check that out. I hope you guys did enjoy ranking the Madden Mobile 22 programs and promos. Let me know how you guys thought I did, and make sure to do this for yourself. Drop a like if you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.